There is a lot that goes on in uni, and when I was joining uni, I myself was really scared because I was told all this weird stuff that once you join uni, you're going to lose your values. There are going to be sugar daddies there, and you're going to get one for yourself. You're going to do this, you're going to do this. Like, there was so much information that I was fed with, and I think this is why when I joined uni, I was scared of everyone. I spent an entire semester not trusting anyone entirely because of the things I was told before I joined, okay? So that stuff is there, it's true, but what I'm telling you is that you can make it. You can go through all that stuff and still have your values and still learn beautiful lessons, or even add some other beautiful values to yourself, okay? So you should relax. So I was thinking, what if I start my videos with something like, hey yo, what's up guys? That doesn't sound like me. So guys, we're going to keep the normal assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello dear viewers, I hope you're fine. Alhamdulillah, on my side I'm fine. Welcome to another video. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for dropping by. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Yeah, so let's get started. So I got this suggestion from one of you, and the suggestion was like this: can you please talk about how university life can be challenging, especially for girls? So normally when I get suggestions, I usually brainstorm and then I come up with something that suits everybody. So inshallah, this video is going to be called The Reality of Life in University. And inshallah, it will accommodate everything. So I ask Allah to make this video genuine, to make this video raw, to make this video beneficial to you and to me as well. So let's get started. We are going to cover different areas in our talk. We are going to cover the academic part. We are going to cover relationships, all types of relationships. We are going to talk about social experiences, and we are going to talk about the part of having fun and how we use our free time on your end, okay? So don't skip the video yet. There is so much to learn, I promise. The main goal of joining university is usually for the sake of attaining that degree at the end, right? And let's face it, when we are first admitted, we feel new to the place. We feel like we don't belong there. We feel afraid. That's what I felt. And I think it's a normal feeling whenever you go to a new place and you're supposed to start a new life. The whole thing becomes overwhelming and you don't get the best experience at the beginning. The same thing happened when we were joining high school. We were freaking out. We were scared because we were in a new place with new people whom we had nothing, whom we knew nothing about. Okay, so it's usually normal to get freaked out, to get scared when you go to a new place. So it happens when you join uni or college. Yeah, so obviously this bubble of fear will not last forever, okay? As time goes, you learn to talk to people, you start having a group of people you get comfortable with, and eventually you have people you can at least go to lunch with or call when it's breakfast time, or go for supper, or go to the library with. So it gets better with time, but reality is that once you join college or university, especially if you go to a place where you know no one, like for my case, when I was joining uni, the place I was going to, which is Kabarak University, I only knew one person, and at that time she was not in session, she was in her long holiday. So yeah, it was pretty scary, and so she had to refer me to her friend who is also from our home county. Yeah, so once I arrived, the friend of the friend is the one who welcomed me, and alhamdulillah, right now we are good friends. She's no longer a stranger to me. So I was taken through by someone who was referred to me, and the experience felt a little bit easier. So I would advise anyone who is joining university to at least know someone who knows someone where you're going. It helps a lot, because you might be even afraid of going to study at the library because you're shy. You have this spotlight effect running in your mind that everyone is looking at you. Sometimes you won't even be able to dine at the mess, but once you have someone who has at least been there, she becomes or he becomes your guide, and it becomes much easier. Let's talk about the academic part. So this is usually the main goal when we join university or college, or when we join any academic institution. The main goal is to either achieve a degree or a certificate or a diploma in something. So basically, academics at the university, it's the bigger part, but once you are there, you realize that you spend very little time in class and there's a lot of free time. Okay, and what shapes us mostly is all that free time. How do we use it? Okay, academics usually have a lot of challenges. One of them could be school fees. When I was in university, I interacted with students who could not sit for exams for several semesters just because of this. Okay, and it's a very depressing thing. Students have to walk out of uni to go find jobs, or defer until they get fees again. Wallahi, this is so depressing. And sometimes I just think like, if there is a simpler way for these students to continue with their lives, rather than looking for a lot of money to get a degree, then tarmac before getting a job, people should use the easier way. Okay, I'm not saying you should quit uni, but I feel like the end goal is usually to be able to sustain yourself, of course in a halal way. Okay, so if we have a smaller, or if we have a short path to attain this goal, why don't we use it instead of us investing a lot of money, and at the end we also have to invest a lot of money because our country is corrupted. We have to invest money for securing employment for this kid, or for this lady, or for this guy. So my advice would be, if there is a shorter way for us to reach the end goal, which is being able to sustain ourselves, then that goal, that thing or that way should be embraced, instead of us using the long way and staying out of school. Okay, another challenge around academics could be the activities that we get involved in. Sometimes they get into our heads to an extent that we forget what brought us to uni or to college. So my advice on this reality is that we should try to strike a balance, try to create time for whatever we love, the extra activities, and try to create time for what brought us there mainly, because at the end, whatever brought us there mainly is the main thing. And if we live without achieving the main goal, then what was the point of everything anyway? So some other issues could be family that could distract academics, or even relationships, mental health issues. Like, there are so many challenges that can arise when we are at that stage, or when we are at uni. Other aspects in this reality will be about deen, religion, or our faith. Of course, we usually leave our homes knowing that these are our values as Muslims, or as whatever we are, okay? And we come into uni with that responsibility to keep our values. And there's usually a lot of mixing up in uni. You get people of different faiths, you get Indians, you get Christians, you even get atheists, and you are a Muslim girl or a Muslim boy, and there are so many cultures around, and definitely this is going to be a test to you, a test to your faith. So what I can say is, the best thing you can do is understand your faith and don't drop those values for anything. Okay, the challenges are going to be there. People are going to give you names, but don't drop it off just because you want to be liked. don't. Do what makes you happy. Practice those values. Of course, I don't advise you to be an extremist, okay? I don't advise you to yell at people just because they don't understand your values. Be the matured one, okay? If somebody is trying to bring you down because you stay true to your values, just understand that it could be jealous for them because they dropped something that you did not want to drop, okay? Don't drop those values. If I can use my story, when I was in uni, I was the only Muslim girl in class, and I have told you this story before. And things have been different from when we started to when we finished school. They were different with my classmates. But when I first joined, there was a lot of discrimination, okay? When I went to class and occupied a seat, nobody would come sit next to me. I don't know, maybe they were told something about people who dressed like me, people who are Muslims, and that's why they tried avoiding me. The only people who would sit with me were my 4 brothers. We were 5 Muslims in our class, and the 4 were boys, and it was so hard to recognize them because it's hard to recognize a boy who is a Muslim because boys dress casually, but for the girls we usually have a headscarf. Yeah, so those were the only people at first who used to give me company or even book a seat for me so that I wouldn't sit alone during the class. So these challenges are going to be there. And then there are questions like, don't you feel hot in that thing? Or people telling you, daring you that one day you should try walking without your hijab on. You know, there are going to be so many things that are going to be said to you. But at the end of the day, you are the one to make the choice, okay? You know what you value most. You have to know why you are doing what you are doing. And if it means keeping away from these people, or even telling them, or even creating strong boundaries with people and telling them, please don't tell me this. Or just prefer being alone, the genuine people who understand you, or people who see you for who you are, people who accept you for who you are will eventually come. It usually takes time. So for me, it took a while before I found people who were actually not my faith, but they accepted me for who I am, for my identity, and they never thought that I was forced to do this. You know, like, it's better to walk alone than to be with people who just degrade you, or people who do not understand you. Yeah. So keep those values with you and have fun in it, okay? And this is where the part of fashion comes in, okay? As young people, we want to stand out, we want to look good, and this is something that is encouraged even in the faith. In a hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him, says, "Inna Allah jamilun yuhibbul jamal," that Allah is beautiful and He loves beautiful stuff. So we are allowed within the scopes of what has been allowed. I'm not saying that everything is allowed. No, like, there is boundaries in our faith, okay? So look for what suits you, okay? For me, it was going to class in rubber shoes and my abaya and my hijab tied around my neck and having a bag hanging, and I would feel like I was the smartest person on earth. So choose a style that speaks for you, that makes you feel like you are unstoppable, you know, as long as it is within the boundaries of the values of your faith, okay? And yeah, just have fun in wearing the hijab, have fun in doing the right thing, okay? The bigger part of this deen part is that is usually a challenge is the hijab, okay? And the first way I have said that you have to understand why you are doing it and do it with style, as long as it is between the boundaries. Yeah. And another thing is that hang around people who are going to encourage you to practice your values. And this is where the MSA comes in handy, the Muslim Students Association. Yeah, this is where it comes handy. And this is a place where we get to be reminded of where we come from. We get to see people who are just like us, people who are dressing like us. They speak like us, you know, and they talk about topics that we truly understand. So if you are joining uni, the reality is that your value, your faith, all these things are going to be challenged, and the most important thing you need is to stick together with people who share the same values as you. And the place where you can find this mostly is the MSA, the Muslim Students Association. So grab someone from there and plan for hangouts, do things in your style. And this is where the fourth thing comes. The third thing or the fourth thing? Yeah, the third thing comes. Fun, having fun, or social events and experiences. So in universities, basically from Friday night, or even for some people from Thursday, these are usually days where people are planning for something outside school. And most of the times it will be going for clubbings or traveling. For some people it could be spending the whole time in the library. Everyone has their own way of enjoying the weekends at the university, and you also have to come up with your own way so that you can feel alive, okay? So you have to choose something that it might be different from other people, but as long as it makes you feel comfortable, as long as it makes you feel alive, and as long as it is halal, of course, you can work with it. So as I mentioned about the MSA, instead of dying in boredom, you can organize sleepovers, of course, for girls, or even invite each other. I remember when we were I was in uni, we used to invite each other we used to have a timetable of inviting each other out. So I'd have a day where my friends would come to my place, and there's a day a friend will be hosting us, and that went on for all of the semester, whether it was Ramadan or not. And after every meal, we sat down and we talked about our goals and our ideas. Sometimes we even played Ludo games, you know. Yeah, so basically it was fun, and that's why I'm saying we have to look for ways of having fun, and it's not necessarily what is haram. Having fun is halal. So we just have to do the right thing. We have to look for ways of having fun, okay? Sometimes instead of inviting each other out, we planned for trips at the MSA. We traveled, we went hiking, we went horse riding. Sometimes I even just picked some of my classmates, whether Muslims or not, and we went for bike riding. And sometimes we organized to go out and swim with other girls at the MSA. Yeah, so basically you can have fun as much as there is the clubbing lifestyle, as much as there is the other types of fun that happen at uni. There is also another side, and another beautiful side of having fun, which you have to define. And sometimes having fun means staying in your room and reading a book, or doing that recipe you've always wanted to do, because at uni you have a lot of time, and most probably you also have the resources and the money. Yeah, so enjoy your life there, do the right thing, and remember you only have one to please truly, which is Allah. So have fun in a way that Allah is going to be pleased with you. The reality that happens at the university is usually relationships. So there are friendly relationships, there are sexual relationships, there are classmate relationship. You're going to have neighbors, of course, whether you live at the hostel or whether you live at the school hostels or you live outside the school, you're going to have neighbors. And these are going to be moments of growth, okay? You're going to interact with people who might have different values than you. In uni, we are young and we have strong sexual emotions, so this might lure us into wanting to be in relationships. And most of us come from families where we are not allowed to get into nikah or into marriage relationships until we are done with our studies. But some of our parents even know that we are having haram relationships going on. Some of our parents don't know that, okay? Regardless of the situation, just try to, if you feel like you can't hold it, try talking to your parents about it instead of doing something wrong, okay? I know of people who had the most difficult parents, and still the parents allowed them to have nikah and still go on with their studies. So you might want to consider this option too if you feel like you are ready. If you are not ready for nikah but you are ready to do the other lifestyle, then that is a question mark. Okay, and I don't want to go into so much details because I feel like maybe I will be like acting so perfect, and I'm just sharing what is in my mind. Okay, and yeah, I'm just sharing what is in my mind, and I ask Allah to guide us all towards this. If marriage is hard, your family can't afford it, then the other way is to choose what you want to keep. Okay, your studies plus the relationship until you finish, or you just choose your studies and reach the end goal, and after that, inshallah, Allah is going to give you something better, because Allah promises that if you leave something for His sake, He's going to give you something better. And I have so many stories that relate to this. I know people who left haram relationships while they were in campus, and it was so hard for them, and I saw them crying. But then once they finished school, they got amazing people who have helped them amazingly, and they're now moving on with very beautiful lives. So everything is possible, guys, and I know we are young and there are so many temptations, but let's not forget that we have Allah on our side, and He understands everything, and He's going to take us through. All we need to do is hold Him as tight as we hold onto Him. Yeah. Another thing that usually happens at uni, apart from the relationships I mentioned, is something to do with the sexual relationships. So guys, I feel like I have exhausted everything that we were supposed to cover in this video, and I don't feel like I have anything to add. All I would say is that when we go to uni or college, we have to go there with an open mind, and we also ask for guidance from our Creator, okay? Because it's not an easy journey. Those 4 years or those 3 years you are spending there are very important, and not everyone gets to the finishing line for different reasons. Okay, so it is a moment where we have to keep Allah close. We have to, the most important thing to, apart from keeping Allah close, is the company. Wallahi, company is so important. I repeat, company is so important. We have to surround ourselves with people who will call us towards goodness, okay? If that's what we want. If we want otherwise, then we can do whatever we want. And I'm not saying that you should discriminate people. Enjoy life with everyone. Be a friend to everyone in class, but know your circle. Know that these are the people who are going to shape my character, my life in uni. Of course, your classmates, these are people you meet in class, and once the class is over, you might not meet again until the next class. But there are those people who you constantly keep in touch with. Who are they? What are they like? Are they going to help you reach your end goal, or they are going to help you mess your life? So about the free time we usually have, there are so many things we can do during that free time that can be productive. Like you can use that free time to actually start a business that is going to keep you busy, so that you won't think about other stuff that is going to ruin your life. You can use that free time to read or even travel. Yeah, attend social events. Like we have so many good clubs in schools. We have poetry clubs, we have so many activities which we can join, so that we can get occupied during that free time, okay? Because let's face it, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if we are not going to get ourselves busy, we are young people, and we have to get ourselves busy so that we can't be thinking about other stuff, you know? Yeah, so that free time is really important, and it shapes us so much. Don't just lock yourself in your room each and every day. Make sure you utilize that time, create memories, halal, beautiful memories, so that you can enjoy the university experience. Guys, it has been an amazing talking to you guys about the reality of university life. If you want more content related to anything I have mentioned in this, please feel free to suggest to me. I'll be glad to come here and talk about it. it makes me feel really good, because I know what I share about me, about the things I have learned, it makes me feel happy that it's going to benefit somebody outside there, and they're going to navigate their way through things they thought they wouldn't be able to go through. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like it, and comment below. And of course, make sure you share this to your networks, especially to somebody who you think they really need to hear this. And another thing I also want to mention is, somebody asked me if downloading the video is going to help me with monetization. The truth is that downloading somebody's video doesn't help them with monetization, because YouTube pays according to the time a viewer spends on your channel while they are online. So if you're watching somebody's video offline, you're not helping them with monetization in any way. So yeah, you guys, that's all for today, and ma salam.